Okay, let's talk about the word embouchure. Embouchure is a funny French word, and it means the way that your lips are shaped when you play the instrument. So we need to learn how to shape our lips correctly to play the saxophone in order to make some good sounds, right? Because if the correct shape is this, but if you're doing something weird, right? Whoa, that probably popped that microphone pretty loud, right? If you're playing like this, right? Looks really, really stupid and silly. But, that would not make good sounds. So we have to shape our mouth correctly, and that's the word embouchure. So whenever I say embouchure, that means the way my lips are shaped when we play the instrument. So let's learn how to shape our I call it the saxophone face, or your embouchure. The first thing you're going to do is we're going to practice this. You probably heard that strange sound I was making. It was just the mouthpiece and the neck, and this is a great way to learn how to play the saxophone. Just the mouthpiece and the neck. What we're going to do is first we're going to start with our bottom lip. And our bottom lip is going to be a little bit curled in. I like to call it the cushion. You're going to create a cushion. Sometimes I like to do this with just my finger to start. So you're going to curl your bottom lip over. If you do it way too much, that won't go well. It's just not going to work well. So it's just a little bit. It's kind of like when you're putting chapstick on, right? People, when they put chapstick on, they go like that. They just kind of curl it over their bottom lip a little bit. And the mouthpiece, the reed, is going to go and set on that. I like to say it sets on your cushion. So I got my bottom lip, and it sets on there. Let's talk about where it sets on there. I'm going to reach in here, and I'm going to get myself a sticky note in my desk. And let's talk about where the instrument rests on your lip. A great way to test is really what it is. You can see there's a tiny little space between the reed and the mouthpiece. What you're going to want to do is your bottom lip is going to touch the reed in the spot where the mouthpiece connects to the reed right here. You can see that I put a little piece of paper carefully in between the reed and the mouthpiece, and that's where my bottom lip would go, right where the mouthpiece and the reed touch. And you see your mouthpiece, it's not actually perfectly flat. Your mouthpiece actually goes like this a little bit. That's called the facing of the mouthpiece. And your reed is straight. So that's what creates a little bit of space, and that's what can make it so the reed can vibrate and make sound. So some people like to do this. They'll carefully put a little piece of paper right there. Maybe they'll even take a pencil and just draw a little thin line right on that spot. I don't know if you can see. My light is pretty bright. But that's where, or you can go like this, set your thumb there on that spot, and that's where you would touch on the bottom lip. Okay? Now, let's talk about my top teeth. My top teeth are going to go on the mouthpiece. You can see on this one, it's been used a lot, so there's actually some teeth scratches in there. And that'll happen over time. Sometimes people like to get a little thing. You can get them at music stores that kind of protects the top here. It's like a little tiny cushion, and it's made to go on the top of the mouthpiece like that. And some people like to use those. But I got my cushion, and I do teeth on top. The teeth on the top of the mouthpiece. So lip on the reed, teeth on the top. Now, let's talk about the angle. And we can talk about my chin. Your chin, you don't want it like this. Bunched up like that. It just looks weird, right? So your chin, you don't want it to be really pointy, but you want it to kind of look like this. You want it to be kind of down a little bit, okay? So I got this right here. And then the saxophone should come straight out of your face. Clarinets go down like this, but saxophones go straight out, okay? And you notice I'm kind of holding it right here. Some people like to hold it here. Don't hold it by this thing because you don't want to bend it, okay? And now what I do is I wrap my lips around the mouthpiece, kind of like a cinch bag. I think I've got a little cinch bag right here, right? You know a cinch bag. I think I got a better one. Yeah. Where there's strings on both sides, there's an opening, and then when you go like this, it wraps around, it closes off from every angle. And you kind of want to think about that. You got your mouthpiece, you got your bottom lip, top teeth, mouthpiece straight out, and then I wrap my lips around the mouthpiece like this. Kind of like I'm saying ooh a little bit. You don't want to smile when you do it. You kind of want like that. And then when I play, it'll make that sound. And all I do is I get my embouchure set. I breathe through the corners of my mouth. I don't want to breathe through the saxophone because that might smell gross and it's not efficient. So you get your embouchure set and then you breathe through the corners of your mouth. Oh, did you hear that little squeak? Sometimes that happens if you have too much mouthpiece inside your mouth, which is what I did there. So I'm going to take a little bit out, not as much in my mouth. And that is how you form your embouchure and play the saxophone.